Hello, middle schoolers. Today's art project, we are going to draw an eye. And you can use colored pencils, whichever color eye you have here, or you can just have a black and white one just drawn with a regular pencil from home. Okay, step one in drawing the eye is going to be to start with this iris. The iris is the colored part of the eye. I used a CD, whichever old CD you've got laying around at home. This is the cover to an oatmeal container. Find something at home that is about this size. Trace it. And also, if you have the CD, trace the middle. Our pupil is going to be bigger than that. That is just to help us find the center. The next thing is let's draw a pupil. You can draw a circle on your own, or you can find a circle at home to trace. Any kind of cover or cap would do just fine. And there we have our pupil and our iris. Now we're going to draw the main shape of the eye. We're going to make it to have somewhat of an elliptical shape, kind of like an amoeba or a paisley from your grandma's couch. Generally somewhat of this shape. We are going to partially cover up this top part once we put the eyelid in. Okay, next we're going to partially cover up the top part of the iris. When you look at your eye, you don't see the whole iris. Your lid is going to partially cover that up. Start near here, just gradually make the arc a little bigger. Come around over this way. You do not need this part anymore. You can erase it. And I do realize that the sound and the pictures are about 3 seconds off, so you just kind of have to deal with me. There's your lid. Okay, next step, let's color in the pupil, and we're going to shade the lid a little bit and add some eyelashes. Just a regular pencil from home will be just fine. When you're shading, you're not using the tip. This is drawing to shade. Rotate your pencil down. You can fill it all in. That little glint that is the reflection can be erased out later, and we can make some parts darker when we're done too. Okay, then to blend it all in, let's just take a tissue, rub it around, smooth it out a little bit, covers up where you missed, and you can add a little glint of reflection. You can just use the end of your pencil. And erase a piece out. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of shading up here on the lid too. Very light, don't overdo it. Don't worry about covering every single area, because you can come back with your tissue, blend it in a little bit. Okay. That's very little shading. Try not to get too heavy on it. Next, we're going to do our eyelashes. The eyelashes are going to go from near the middle, starting small, getting a little bigger, and then getting small over here. So we can just try to just flick your wrist. Let's try to make some short, some taller. Don't do it all at once. You can make several trips. Get a little smaller as you get towards here. Let's go back. Let's make another round. It is easier to add more than to take some away. Add a little bit of a curve to them. Go back to the beginning, do it again. Okay, when you've made enough trips across, let's do a few at the bottom. Careful not to overdo it. We're going to start near the center. We're going to curve towards where your nose would be. Just some short little wispy ones. Again, don't overdo it at first. You can make a couple more trips. Go back to the beginning. Okay, next this is the fun part, the iris. Now again, you can have just plain pencil, or you can color them in. If you've got colored pencils at home, that'll look nice. If you've got brown eyes, see how many different shades of brown you can find. Keep in mind, if you only have one color, you can get different shades by pressing lighter or harder. If you've got blue, find those pencils. If you've got green, find those. We're not going to do it steadily in one time around. We're going to make several trips around, probably plan on going around 4 or 5 times. And instead of a heavy hand where you're drawing the line, just kind of flick your wrist again. They should not all go to the end. Some can stop shorter. There's more depth of color in your eye closer to the iris. Just keep going around. Make another trip. You can switch to another shade of brown. Some are shorter. Some go all the way to the edge. And just keep on going. It is easier to add than it is to take away. So don't add too much at once. You can evaluate after you've gone around a few times. You can switch back and forth to some other colors. And when you're done too, take your darkest color or press harder with your pencil if you've only got one. Go around the edge. Do the same thing in the middle. And there's your eye. Until next week.